warning before you listen. This epic is not for children, nor for the faint of heart. We retell the ancient Greek myths as they were born, unfiltered, unsoftened. Scenes of violence, curses, betrayals, and a hunger for power that shows no mercy. Given the many conflicting versions of the Titan War, the events have been rebuilt to complete the missing pieces. Here, we tell the myth as it was meant to be told. Sources and references are listed in the episode description.
Chapter 67. From the Titan War, Clash of Weapons and the Fall of Time. The slumber of Zeus, when lightning flees from itself. Nothing unsettles a god, except seeing himself in a way he never wished to be seen. The wound wasn't in his chest, it was in the gaze, that once saw everything and now trembled when it dared look inward. Zeus, the god who made winds shudder at his name, whose raised brow could bend mountains in reverence, had become a whisper, not out of reverence, but out of fear that saying it aloud might awaken a ghost. Years passed, not silent years, but years in which thunder dared not roar his name. Years in which Zeus wasn't absent, but hidden. Behind the echo of who he used to be, beneath a mountain with no name, unmarked on any map, he chose a cave where no light entered, where even time didn't dare ask why he came. He hadn't fled, but he hadn't faced anything either. He sat there, not as a god waiting, but as a soul too proud to admit it no longer knew what it wanted from itself.
The thunderbolt lay beside him, silent, not dead, but dormant. A shard of fire that glared back at him, as if whispering with every glance, "I haven't changed. You're the one who's forgotten how to hold me." He dreamed of screaming, but no sound came out. He saw his brothers crushed, cities devoured beneath the feet of Kronos, the Titans laughing, while he reached out, only for the sky to recoil as if rejecting its own child. Then, one night, he woke, not from a sound, but from a thought. A single thought he had never heard from anyone. You weren't defeated by Kronos. You were defeated by lightning, when it no longer looked like you. He stood slowly, every bone in him aching with memories. He placed his hand on the thunderbolt. It didn't ignite, but it pulsed. In that pulse, there was no fire, but a call. Something from beneath the skin, from a heart not yet named, whispered, "Rise. Time is suffocating. You are being awaited." He didn't hear words. He felt something like them. A chill. Then heat, as if someone was breathing into his chest, trying to rekindle what had once been divine. Outside, the sky was empty, but it listened. He stepped forward, heavy-footed, as if each step erased a year of running. The air changed, the earth opened, not to surrender, but to witness. Everything was silent, except his soul. The thunderbolt remained in his hand, no longer a weapon, but a mirror. And as he crossed the final shadow of the cave, the mountain whispered to itself. The lightning was never gone. It was merely asleep, inside the memory of its bearer. A chill, then heat, as if someone was breathing into his chest, trying to rekindle what had once been divine. Outside, the sky was empty, but it listened. He stepped forward, heavy-footed, as if each step erased a year of running. The air changed, the earth opened,
not to surrender, but to witness. Everything was silent, except his soul. The thunderbolt remained in his hand, no longer a weapon, but a mirror. And as he crossed the final shadow of the cave, the mountain whispered to itself. The lightning was never gone, it was merely asleep, inside the memory of its bearer. This chapter of the epic has come to an end, but remember, what you've just heard is not a record of facts, but the echo of a myth, a story born from the imagination of the ancients, etched into the long memory of humankind. If this tale stirred something in you, if it opened a door to reflection or wonder, don't forget to support the channel and share the journey with those you love. And in the comments, tell us, which moment in this chapter struck you the most and why? We'll meet again in the next chapter of this audio odyssey through time. Until then, farewell.